Okay. Hello, dear friends. Good afternoon. Oh, look at that lady running in black. And she is 65 or something like it. We carry the same gene. Okay, hello dear friends, good afternoon. Such a beautiful, beautiful afternoon, and this is in Beijing. I went to a church, so my sister and I, we decided to visit the bus road 103 and to go through all the places or as much as we can about Beijing history. And this place is really a very, very unique place. So this is a church. It's called西什库Church. 西什库 Church. And I know this place because when I was young, I came here for our sports team training, the track and field sports team training. I will come back to this part of story. So this church has been built for around 400 years or 500 years ago. And there were two foreign missionaries came to China, and the two missionaries cured the disease of the emperor. So the emperor was saved by the Western medicine at that time. So the emperor was very grateful and granted the two missionaries a piece of land to build church, to build their establishment. So they started to build, and later on they applied to build a higher church, and then the Chinese emperor decided to move it to a little bit outside the main center of Beijing. So this is the new location. So this place, here still this place is around 300 years, and it's a Gothic style construction. And this church, they started and did a lot of I really lost my words in English. 他们做布道, they spread Christianity in China, and around 1840, that was the China Opium War, China with the English, and there was Opium War. China was against it. And that was also the time when China became from the old glorious, very developed, the peak of civilization, world civilization, become deteriorating and was attacked by the foreign invasions, from Opium War, from land, and people were very unhappy to see China is disappearing, is this desperate stage. And in the countryside, there started this Boxing Rebellion, the Boxer Rebellion. They were very much against any foreign influence. The foreign missionaries and the Chinese people who believe in the Christianity was attacked by the Boxer rebellions. And there was one big incident, was that the Boxer rebellions attack churches, attacked the church in another place, in several places in China at 1900 at that time. And this church was sieged for 2 months, almost 2 months. Because this church, you can see from outside, was very well protected, and they built very solid and thick wall. So the Boxer rebellions could not enter, because the Boxer rebellions, 义和团, they did not have weapons. They only have knives, no guns, no powders. And the foreigners have these gun and powders. And the church was protected by the foreign force, and for 2 months, around 30 people died. The foreign missionaries, and around 200, 300. Boxer rebellions died. And finally, at the end, 8 foreign countries signed, give the Qing dynasty, Chinese government, big pressure, and came to Beijing and solved that problem. So the Boxer rebellion was put down. And this was one of the very bloody incidents in that period. And also, it was a very shameful part of Chinese history. When the country is weak, you get attacked. And it's, as a Chinese, it's a very shameful part of our history. So maybe sometimes you did not hear very much about these stories. It's also because it's such a pain to tell these stories. And this is as much as I have read. And I will stop here, and I will talk about what I know about this place. So when I was young, during Cultural Revolution, this place was, the foreign missionaries was all gone back, and China does not have other religions. And this place was used by a middle school or high school, 39中. And I know that place because I was in track and field team, a quite selected few, something like 1 out of 100 or 1,000, 1 out of 100 can get the chance to go to that track and field team. So I was in that team, and I think every week, 2 or 3 times, I came here for training. And this place was used as a storage for the school. And also, this big, beautiful church was used as storage for the school. And when in rainy days, students came here to do PE class. And the surrounding was also occupied by some factories and the surrounding neighborhood business. Anyway, just recently, this place, the government renovated this place. As you can see, it's beautifully renovated, painted, and the middle school was moved out, and factory was moved out, and people can come here to do messa and can practice their religious believing and religious teaching. And I came here, and there was one volunteer, several volunteers there. and very passionately talking about the history and very proudly explaining about the history of this place. And that big organ was donated by a foreign international organization also. And now there are a lot of people coming here to do messa, to do practice. And it is it's just a beautiful place, and makes people happy to see that we have different thinking, different thought, and different ideology coexist. And this is as much as I can see. I'm sure other people may have different opinion, different idea, but at least what I am seeing, a historical building getting its due respect and renovation and care. This is very, very touching. And the volunteer told me during the weekend, this place is full of people. More and more people are turning to Christianity, and many of these churches are filled up during their service hour, during their study hour, and just beautiful. Look at the window, and some of the windows was the old glasses, but I think these are newly repaired. I remember when I was young here 40 years ago, around 40 years ago, the windows, we can still see the beautiful glass window, but some of the glass was broken. Even in that time, 40 years ago, I do not recall anybody intentionally destroying this place. Through wind, through the bad weather, this place got damaged. But I feel this place has some power. People do respect a place like this. And so this is a part of China's history, part of Beijing's history, and part of the history that kind of new and kind of unfamiliar to me. But still, that's the life of our life. There are all kinds of stories, all kinds of lives, and all kinds of things happening in our life. Outside it's clean and beautiful. It's really very well taken care of. Look at the flowers. Okay. Thank you very, very much. I love you. I really do. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. And there are several others like this. I will show you another church in my future video, also in Beijing. Bye-bye, friends.